Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to your 2025 horoscopes for the month of September. My name is Astrid. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you already have, thank you so much for joining. I also offer personal astrology sessions. You'll find a link for that in the description box below. So I hope you guys are doing all right because September is quite of a big one because it's the start of eclipse season. So we've got two powerful eclipses, one lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces and a solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. Apart from that, on the 1st of September, Saturn is going to retrograde back into the sign of Pisces, and Uranus is preparing to go stationary on September the 6th. Then a day later, we have a lunar eclipse. Mars is gonna ingress into Scorpio. It's gonna make a square to Pluto. So, oh, why is all these things like? Why are all these things coming together? It's like a lot to handle in September. Like, oh my god! I think a lot of people are gonna be quite a bit shocked, to be honest. So, just to prepare you guys, if people lose their mind, if people are acting a little bit of crazy with the lunar eclipse in Pisces, just know that it's actually the astrological influence that is currently playing out. So, yeah. So let's just get into today's presentation. Let's break it all down and let's see what these transits are going to mean collectively and also for each of the 12 signs. I'm going to walk you later through that in this video. And hey, Katie, hope your tooth is completely healed. Yes, looking forward to seeing all of your new upcoming videos. You're an awesome astrologer. Oh, thank you so much, Katie. And by the way, I've sent you an email. We had a little misunderstanding, but if you go to your email box, you will find out. So let's start today's presentation. So let's take a quick look at the transits and the ingresses. And Stain, hey Stain, I've also looked at your email. I'm gonna respond ASAP as well. It's just been a little bit of a hectic week with everything going on. But we're gonna break down everything today. So the first big one on the 1st of September, Saturn is gonna jump back into the sign of Pisces for the very last time. So, Pisces, it is a difficult sign. It is the last sign of the zodiac. It's about endings, final karmic endings. A lot of people are gonna close a very, very big chapter in their lives. And with with the lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces as well, so Saturn and the lunar eclipse co-present in the sign of Pisces. Yeah, Pisces, of course, spirituality and connecting and oneness and yeah, divine intervention as well. But the downside of Pisces is also, yeah, Pisces can get a little bit crazy. It rules over our mental health. It rules over prisons, mental asylums as well. So yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna mentally struggle with this one, even though it's positively aspected to Jupiter, and I'm gonna dive deeper into that later. But still, yeah, with Saturn ingressing back into the sign of Pisces, it's like a very, very big karmic checkpoint. Like, it's a big time to review how you've handled your boundaries, your discipline, your responsibility. And it's in the realms of intuition, compassion, spirituality. Saturn is going to demand that we really ground our dreams into reality. And it can be a big reality slap that's about to hit us because Saturn is going to close out a 30-year karmic cycle. Neptune is going to go back into Pisces as well. That's in November. So yeah, it's like the final big karmic ending of a 30-year-old cycle. So it's going to really strip away illusions. It's about escapism. It's about all the things that quietly drain us. So yeah, the fact that we actually need to balance discipline with intuition and also taking ownership of our habits and our spiritual practices. And it's also a call to stop just trusting the flow when it's actually an excuse to avoid reality. We need to build sturdier emotional and spiritual foundations that can actually truly support us and support our growth as well. And Saturn is about boundaries. He's saying like, here is the line, you cannot go any further. And I think a lot of people are actually in denial. Like, Pisces is the sign of spirituality, but a lot of spiritual people are actually in denial about reality and how harsh it is. And then the other side is that other people who are in denial, they are looking to escape, or they are doing escapism with drugs, with alcohol. And it's also about our coping mechanisms. And Saturn is going to teach each of us very tough lessons in that. So just know, if you have been having problems with alcohol or drugs in the past, some reality checks might be so hard in the upcoming few weeks that a lot of people will fall into their old habits and into their old patterns and into their old coping mechanisms. And I'm just gonna plainly honest say to you guys, no amount of alcohol or drugs or any other type of coping mechanism is going to save you from facing the harsh truths that are about to come. So yeah, the fall for the northern hemisphere is definitely a bit of a more difficult time. I've been warning since the beginning of this year that this time frame would be the most difficult for the collective. Of course, it depends on your own natal chart and where everything is placed in your own natal birth chart. But for the whole collective, we're going to see a lot of lunatics. Like, I'm just going to like say it, with all this Pisces energy and Saturn and Neptune going back, and the lunar eclipse. Yeah, the lunar eclipse, it is a full moon on steroids. Yeah, people are going to definitely struggle. And I think it's going to be very, very hard and difficult to really draw up a boundary, a sturdy boundary with Saturn and Pisces, two people who are actually close to our heart, people who we hold dear. But I'm sorry, if they are draining us of our vitality, and if they are lying and cheating, which is all part of Pisces as well, then they simply need to go. I think the key words for September are actually toxicity, lunar eclipse in Pisces, new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. So toxicity, purging, and also like, yeah, just by eliminating the people who are actually drain us, we are creating actually a new habit and a new routine. So first we need to purge with the lunar eclipse, and then by the end of September, the 21st, we can have a new start in our daily routines by drawing up new boundaries with Saturn and Pisces as well. And it can be quite hard because Pisces, it wants to help everyone. It wants to make feel, it's also about the underdog in Pisces. So we're going to see a lot of people also in their victim mentality. That's also part of Pisces. And we really need to use discernment to really know where we draw the line. And I think a lot of people who have been overly sensitive towards other people's needs, which is also part of Pisces, are going to be like, okay, this is the final straw, and I'm going to choose for myself, and I'm going to choose me first. It's like my time now. So yeah, it's just, yeah, not an easy time, not gonna lie. So but I'm gonna highlight it further when I get to the lunar eclipse. So on September, and Katie says, I'm maybe gonna switch on the comments, but Katie says moon in Pisces. So yeah, Katie, I have a moon in Pisces as well. I have been feeling the heat. Heat is maybe not the right word, but I have been feeling the overflow of emotions and the water for sure. Let me know how you're doing with it, because I already I already know what's going to be the upcoming theme for the lunar eclipse in Pisces on my moon. Family, oh my God. You don't choose your own family, right? But we can choose our own friendship. So strapping myself in for this September, right? Yes, definitely. So on the 2nd of September, we're gonna see Mercury square Uranus. So yeah, jolts in the mind, getting awakened and insights, very disruptive. We're going to see disruptive news in the media as well, because Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. We're going to see some big truth bombs. Unexpected conversations are going to come up out of nowhere. They're going to really shake us out of these old patterns. But on the positive side, it can also spark breakthroughs in technology and media and education. But this is going to arrive as lightning bolt truth. Can feel destabilizing, can feel overwhelming at first, but yeah, there is also a risk of information overload. But it's also going to offer us a chance to really solve problems through thinking outside of the box and really, just look at it from a different perspective. Stay flexible. There can be a lot of chaos, and we need to maybe press the mental reset button as well. Then on September the 4th, we're going to see Jupiter in Cancers trine the North Node in Pisces. So very rare and auspicious trine. Jupiter, abundance, luck, growth, expansion. The North Node is karma, but actually our destiny. It's going to really open up a flowing current of opportunities that can feel very fated. And they're both in water signs. There's emotional healing, spiritual growth. There is like a karmic alignment, can come through family, in your creativity, in your home. And Jupiter in Cancer, it actually teaches us and it nurtures us that safety and intimacy are very important. And with the North Node in Pisces, we are invited to really surrender and to have faith, even if things are not going according to plan. And also to really, shift our gears into a new soulful direction that's very fated. So there can be synchronicities, there can also be new connections coming forth that are actually very divinely guided. So it can also be about a reminder that prosperity really flows when the heart and the soul are in harmony and they move together as one heartbeat. So then on September the 5th, Mars is in Libra and it's going to square Jupiter in Cancer. So that can give emotional, not a lot of emotional patience. There can be a lot of assertive action in relationships, especially. There can be conflicts. There can be, there is this theme of expansive emotional dynamics with Jupiter, and it's in conflict with Mars and Libra in relationships. So there's going to be overreactions. There's going to be impulsive choices that people are going to make that they're going to regret later on. There can be heated debates as well, particularly within family, within partnerships as well. And there's an urge to go big, and it's very strong, the urge. But if it goes unchecked, then it might really quickly tip into recklessness or in conflict. You need to have the courage to stand up for your fairness, for balance, and also for your equity without burning bridges. Know when to push forward, know when to compromise, and also when to let things flow without using too much force. And then on September the 6th, Uranus is going to station retrograde in the sign of Gemini. But when a planet stations retrograde or like switches its motion, it's mostly felt up to a week in advance. So actually now the energy is very strong. And whenever a planet switches motion, then the energy of the planet is really amplified. So Uranus, shocks, surprises, breakthroughs, destabilizing effect, disruptions, but it's all happening to create more awareness. Uranus also rules over electricity, quantum computers, the ring of fire. It's about earthquakes and volcanoes erupting as well. We're going to see more of that, I guess, and definitely with the lunar eclipse in Pisces, that can really cause major floods and a lot of problems with water as well. If you look back in historic cycles, there's always been issues with too much water whenever we have an eclipse in the sign of Pisces. It, of course, rules over the sea. There can be disruptions at sea, at the flow of the supply chain as well. There's going to be disruptions with people who are going to have too much mental issues. And a lot of people are going to be so fed up with the lies that are going to be exposed, because Uranus switching retrograde just a day before the lunar eclipse in Pisces, a lunar eclipse that is going to expose all the deceit and all the lies and all the denial and with Uranus, people are going to be so fed up this time. So think about mental rebellion. There can also be scattered thinking, people who are in overload, overstimulation. But yeah, just know that true freedom begins in the mind and when things get exposed. So yeah, the retrograde is definitely gonna help us to shake things loose. So on September the 7th, the lunar eclipse in Pisces, and I'm gonna switch like this. So if we, yeah, we're gonna look at the chart. I'm gonna switch it up here. So the lunar eclipse on September the 7th, very, very big cosmic purge. It's gonna bring a lot of endings, a lot of revelations, and yeah, it is conjunct, allez, it's in the same sign of Saturn, it is trine Jupiter, it is also, yeah, it's gonna force us to really confront all the illusions, all the toxic ties, all the unhealthy habits that actually quietly drain us behind the scenes. So the Pisces Virgo axis is activated again. We saw it happening in March as well. Think back to what happened in March. Then we had a new moon in the sign of Pisces. And this eclipse is really going to dissolve all the false narratives. It's going to expose where we've been deceiving ourselves or where you have been deceiving others. And this one is going to demand a lot of accountability. Saturn is going to kick everyone's ass who has been dishonest. So, and with Mars square Pluto incoming at the end of the month, brace yourselves because things might get a little bit ugly during the last week of the month of September. So sensitivity is going to peak very, very high. Pisces is also about intuition and our dreams, suppressed emotions, the subconscious, and all the things are going to surge back to the surface. Things that have been lingering for the past 30 years. Some of us are going to grieve very, very deeply. Others who are on their spiritual aligned path are going to deal a lot easier with this transit, with this eclipse. So yeah, it's actually a cleansing of the emotional and energetic body, and it's going to clear out all this unresolved grief while awakening and forgiveness is highlighted as well. So are you actually nourished or are you depleted by the people and by the environments around you and that you allow into your life? What no longer serves you is going to be released very, very naturally. We're gonna step through big doorway here from the 1st of September until the middle of February. That is the last time that Saturn is gonna co-join Neptune, a little bit later Neptune. But by the middle of February, Saturn will shift back into Aries. And then you can see it as like the final exams of the last 3 years. And what have you learned? What people have you allowed in your life? Pisces Virgo is also about people-pleasing tendencies. They're going to come up big time as well. So, yeah, just know that this is actually guiding us closer to our destiny, and it's also going to prepare the ground for the Virgo solar eclipse later in the month. So yeah, Pisces, it's about the energetic body, it's about compassion, it's about spiritual boundaries, carrying other people's emotions is going to need to stop because it's going to become way too much. Lies are going to be, yeah, a lot of uncovering of lies, and that can be quite hard. It's about hidden resentments as well. It can be about exhaustion, by brain fog, about lowered immunity, even about mysterious illnesses that doctors cannot easily explain. So yeah, cleanse your energy field, release the attachments to people who actually feed onto your light. And also remember that compassion without boundaries is just martyrdom. So more on that later when I do the full lunar eclipse Pisces, the full lunar eclipse in Pisces video. And Stain says, perfect time to reveal the truth about the childhood. I cannot say this word, or otherwise I'm gonna be banned maybe. Like the YouTube restrictions have been, yeah, they have been toughening up. Allee, they are becoming stricter. So, but yes, definitely staying. This is going to be a very, very big theme of the upcoming two eclipses and the 6 months that are going to follow after that. Brace yourselves. Um, so then, September the 13th, the Sun will be conjunct Mercury and it's in Virgo. Mercury is in its home sign. It's actually an inferior conjunction, which means that Mercury is going to pass before the Sun from our viewpoint on Earth. So that's actually an inferior conjunction, also known as a GEMINI, and it marks a very big moment where the mind and the identity really fuse. And it can give a lot of mental clarity and a lot of illumination as well, on top of all the other exposure that we're about to see. And this is actually a very good energy for solving any problems, for doing a very sharp analysis. And it's a very, very powerful reset point after Mercury's retrograde cycle, because it's been, yeah, Mercury has been in Leo for such a long time. It's going to switch over to Virgo. So, yeah, that's actually a better, way better energy. So it's also purification of thought that day, where all these old doubts or all these scattered thinking are actually going to burn away by the sun. That can actually, we can feel like we have a refined sense of order in our mind again. Again, Sun illuminating, Mercury messages, Virgo health. So we're gonna gain more revelations about the health sector, about our daily routines, about work projects. We're gonna see very, very easy what's broken and also how to fix it. Very good time for writing, teaching, organizing, and also know that like your inner dialogue really shapes the outer reality. So a good time to align your words, your thoughts, and your attentions with the order that you wish to create. On September the 17th, Mercury in Virgo is going to opposite Saturn in Pisces. And this is really going to be a reality check in communication, because Mercury is about thought, speech, contracts as well. And with the opposition to Saturn, it's limits, blocks, responsibilities. So whatever you say during that day, especially, words are going to feel more heavier, more serious. Conversations might be delayed, or you can face some criticism, or you're going to need to face some uncomfortable truths as well. There can be fear of rejection. There can also be like the weight of responsibility that surfaces. And Saturn's lesson is really discipline, to make sure that our words and our commitments carry a lot of weight, and it's in regards to integrity and clarity as well. So this is actually a very sobering transit. Yeah, it's going to cut through the illusions. It's about maturity. It's about listening carefully to the other, and also know that like true wisdom really grows when we allow silence and reflection before to shape what we say after. So yeah, think before you speak during that time. On September the 18th, Mercury is going to opposite Neptune. So this is a very paradoxical time, or a very paradoxical day, because Neptune opposing Mercury, it's going to bring fog, it's going to bring lies, can bring confusion. But at the same time, we see Mercury in a very grand air trine with Pluto and also with Uranus, and it's also going to form a kite. So yeah, there can be lies, but you can like more easily tap behind the veil. And if you listen to your intuition, it might be very, very clear who's lying to you. So yeah, there are like pros and cons to that days. But yeah, be just a little bit mindful about potential deception. Balance your intuition with a lot of discernment during those days. And then on the 18th of September, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Libra. So if you're a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Virgo, then yeah, look what your chart ruler is doing. Like, all of things are going to happen for you. And thank you so much, Arno. How are you? It's been some time. Truth will be revealed. The chess play of timelines all lead to ascension of the humankind mind. Checkmate and hi Astrid, I hope you are well. Well, Arno, this is so beautifully said. And yeah, it can feel this month, you can feel like your checkmate. Is that correct in English? I don't know, but I think people will understand. You can feel like you're like a little bit blocked with your head against the wall, and you will really need to listen to your intuition on the next steps that you need to make, because it might feel a little bit confusing, all the energy, but definitely the truths will be revealed, especially with Uranus stationing retrograde the day before a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting month. Like I've been saying it all year, that this time would be like Carmageddon for the entire health field, for the doctors, for the medical procedures that took place, for people who are struggling with their health, and why that's happening, and also how can I say it not too blunt or directly, but yeah, I think a lot of people, and especially doctors, are going to face a lot of consequences with the things that they did. So I'm just going to put it that way. Okay, so then Mercury is going to shift to Libra by September the 18th. And yeah, the, the sharp analysis of Virgo gives way to like a softer, more diplomatic tone. So communication is now going to emphasize with harmony, with charm, with negotiation. So better for partnerships and collaborations as well, and maybe to find some resolution to a conflict after the day before the lies. So maybe it can be like a whole whirlwind, and very, very up and down. But know that on September the 18th, the truth can be spoken with a lot of grace. So yeah, real wisdom is not about like winning arguments, but about creating connection through mutual understanding. And we're going to be faced with that for sure. On September the 19th, Venus is going to enter the sign of Virgo. And yeah, so Venus is love, beauty, relationships. They all take on like a practical and a very grounded tone. Affection can be more expressed through like these kind acts of service, and also in like thoughtful detail, and like remembering the small stuff and helping people or your loved one with that, small consistent gestures as well. Venus in Leo is more about these grand displays of affection and love, but in Virgo the vibe is going to shift immensely, and the downside of Venus in Virgo is that it can really like highlight a lot of flaws, and it can also start pickiness and nitpicking, and yeah, there can be an over analysis or like some kind of perfectionism happening in the love department, and constant criticism can really overshadow genuine care, so be careful for that. And also know that like the true devotion lies in the sacredness of tending daily towards what we really cherish, whether that's like a person or a craft or something that we really hold close. And hi, Becca. Becca says Mercury and Libra sounds like some good justice coming. We want truth. Yeah. Don't worry, Becca. In the next 6 months, I think the truth is gonna shock a lot of people. Not that I want to like manifest this, but I've been like foreseeing that for such a long period of time, and this year we're full on in the eclipses in the axis of Pisces and Libra. Next year they're going to shift over towards slowly towards Leo and Aquarius, but this year the full emphasis is on Pisces deception and Virgo our physical health. So of course people are going to try to hide that. And try to stay in that deceptive mode with all the Pisces eclipse as well. So then on September the 21st, we're gonna see a solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. It is on 29 degrees, which is a critical aneretic degree. It's the most energy we get out of a sign. So very, very bam. Of course, while it's doing that, it's going to make an opposition to Saturn. So Saturn is going to demand like the center stage, and the sun is going to really highlight Saturn and bring it into our full awareness, and it's about responsibilities and accountability as well. That's why I've actually been mentioning what I've just said before, because yeah, this is really saying, where have we avoided truth, where have we neglected health, honesty and discipline. Saturn in Pisces is not just about cutting away delusion, it's also about really, yeah, it just demands a karmic payback. I'm just gonna put it that way. Many will feel tested, but those tests are really the foundations or something new and longer lasting and more enduring, and something more stable coming into place or replaced. And the solar eclipse in Virgo, of course, it is the second Virgo new moon in a row, arriving at a very critical energetic degree, and it's going to really mark a point of like turning over a big page, a very big cosmic reset around our health, around our routines, and our work, and our service, and our mastery of skills. So the message here is really raise your standards, refine your skills. Also, because new moon solar eclipse in a sign of Virgo, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs with this one, especially due to AI, and it's going to be very, very obvious over the next 6 months. So think, where are you good at, and refine those skills. So the ruling planet Mercury is in Libra, opposing Neptune while forming a kite as well. It's about social justice, spiritual downloads, the need for very, very sharp discernment. The eclipse opposition to Saturn, it really, really underscores a lot of tests in the relationships and in our responsibilities towards each other. Luckily, it trines both to Uranus and Pluto. There's going to be some breakthroughs and empowerment as well, innovation, transformation, but this is like the final warning eclipse. This is really the final calling to clean up what drains you and to really consciously step into higher integrity. And if we're not going to do that, we're going to face big karmic consequences. So this applies to everyone. Like, no one can escape from Saturn's karmic lessons, from its boundaries. And the sooner we say enough is enough, the less we're going to suffer. So Virgo, of course, rules over our physical body, our daily routines, and it's also about purity and the purification of toxicity. So yeah, with the opposition to Saturn, it's really going to show us the cost of ignoring toxic influences or really carrying other people's burdens. We might finally feel pushed enough to set higher standards, to stop people pleasing, not just for the sake of our own health, but also for the sake of like the collective health, and also for the company that you keep. And we need to be mindful, because you become like the average of the 5 closest people around you. And that's like something I never forgot the first time they told me, because the 5 people around, like closest around you, they need to be pure, they need to have good intentions. And if that's not the case, you're gonna know it now in the next couple of weeks, and we really need to purge, because Virgo is really going to show that the people around us really affect our digestion, our nerves, our ability to regulate stress. Virgo is a sign of stress. And if your environment is filled with criticism, Virgo, and the South Node is there, we need to release it. If it's filled with deception, North Node and Pisces, or envy, the Mars-Pluto square that's about to happen by the end of the month, just know that your body really metabolizes the tension like a very big poison, and we need to really raise our standards in the way that we engage with food and with health routines. Don't consume toxic energy, you're gonna get ill. Choose relationships and situations and work environments and foods that nourish you and not deplete you. Virgo, what we put into our body It's about how we maintain our body with the routines, and how we let it rest in the right environment. And Pisces is what we absorb energetically from people and spaces as well. So, are you letting toxic influences weaken your body and spirit, or are you actually choosing to surround yourself with truth, integrity, and light? So, yeah, very, very big cosmic detox, this one. This is a harsh one with the opposition to Saturn and Neptune for sure. So, then, Mars is going to enter Scorpio. And on the 7th of October, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have a full moon in Aries with the ruler of Aries, Mars in Scorpio. Oh my God. I'm not looking forward to that one as an Aries, to be honest. But on the fall equinox, the skies are going to really shift dramatically. Mars, it is, of course, in its traditional home sign in Scorpio. It's going to do that while the sun enters Libra and the equinox kicks off. So this is like the energy is infused in the equinox. There's like a full a new moon solar eclipse and Mars entering Scorpio while the equinox happens. So I might do an equinox reading this year here on my channel. Yeah, Scorpio really intensifies passion, drive, transformation. It's gonna also fuel some like a fearless drive, or yeah, a fearless drive into our own shadow, into what true intimacy is. It's also about hidden truths, about manipulation, especially when it's going to square Pluto. But yeah, it's going to really, really stir a lot of power struggles. There can be a lot of envy, jealousy, control issues if this energy is misused. But on the same day, the sun ingresses into Libra, and Libra season begins. That is balancing out of the day and the night. So there's also like a collective focus towards relationships and fairness and harmony with the sun and the sign of Libra. So yeah, together these two ingresses, they really weave a lot of tension and depth in the pursuit of balance, Libra, and that requiring a lot of confronting uncomfortable truths with Mars in Scorpio. So yeah, the strength is really going to come from facing your shadows with a lot of honesty, while choosing partnerships that actually align with integrity. So yeah, just know also with the sun entering into Libra, there's a lot of emphasis on justice, on fairness, on mutual respect, and Libra season, it always exposes the places where imbalance or inequity exists. So, and it really is going to push us to recalibrate. So, Becca's comment about some good justice that's incoming, that's even going to be further implicated whenever we enter into Libra season. I think last year with Libra season, the whole PDD scandal came forth as well. So, yeah, there's. Libra also rules, of course, yeah, the judicial system. So something big mostly comes up whenever we are in Libra season. So on September the 23rd, the sun is going to opposite Neptune fully that day. So again, big confusion, illusion, be a little bit careful for the risk of deception and a lot of projection from other people, and again disillusionments where our ideals really blur into fantasies, or life can feel like it's slipping through our hands. So trust intuition without like abandoning your ground reality, and then also surrender. Can also be a very big day for inspiration and awakening if we really succeed in anchoring ourselves in truth rather than chasing these illusions and being in denial about all of it. Then, one of the most important days, together with the eclipses, Mars in Scorpio is going to square Pluto on September the 24th. This is the most intense and volatile aspects of the entire month. Mars in its home sign of Scorpio is going to clash against its ruler Pluto and Aquarius. The collective power struggles, control dynamics, obsession, raw emotional intensity are all going to be triggered. So It's going to play out in confrontations, in manipulation, and in self-destructive tendencies as well, that can be both personally and collectively. But just know, if you use your power in the right way, that it also carries an immense transformative potential. People who abuse or misuse their power, they're gonna fall from grace, like, immensely, and they're gonna do everything they can to hold on to that power. And we can see some very, very intense and disturbing things happening. So prepare for that. I'm actually gonna hide a little bit on September the 24th. I would need to check my schedule and clear that day. Because, like, if you remember, if we go back to May this year, we had the Mars Pluto opposition. Like, Mars has been going retrograde by the end of 2024 until February of 2025. After that, Mars has been making this very long opposition towards Pluto. And we all know what happened back then. There was a lot of fights, a lot of jealousy, a lot of revenge, all of people who really showed their weaker side by trying to control people. And I'm not like a fan of control. Like, I've had too many therapy sessions to let other people control me. And a lot of people dislike me because I always confront people whenever they are abusing their power. And then they call me crazy, but they're gonna have to wake up earlier in the morning. So just like a heads up that this can be quite a difficult time, and people can really like lash out, and the Scorpio stinger is gonna come out. Just defend yourself against the Scorpio stinger, because it might be quite toxic. So hi Laura. And Laura says they showed their true colors. Exactly. And we're gonna see some more shades of the true color rainbows from everyone, so prepare yourself. And Katie says, my go sit in the woods. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hide somewhere as well. Shield up, yes. Where are all my fellow shield maidens? We're gonna need to unite for sure. So enough with the drama. Just like a little heads up. It's going to be a test of inner resilience and willpower. It's going to also force us to face the shadow side of our fears, the shadow side of domination, and a lot of survival instincts can be triggered. So really calm down the nervous system. Don't let them get you, don't let them throw you out of center. It's about empowerment and rebirth, but we're going to see a lot of political and social crises during this time. So just like whenever you are confronted by anything, ask yourself, where am I ready to transform control into courage and my fear into strength? So and hey, Claudia. Hi, Astrid. Great hearing your wisdom, restraint of pen and tongue and email. Yeah, that might be quite smart. But sometimes we cannot hide and escape. And like, I do not want to make it worse than it is. And sometimes we just need to go through the things that trigger us, and if something trigger you, it might be wise not to lash out, but to really like investigate yourself and go inward and go deep and just ask yourself, why is this still triggering me so hard? I had a situation coming up this week, and I was like, oh man, I thought I was like more evolved than that, but I got so mad. I was like, oh my god. And the worst things still have to come by the end of September, so I might just like hide under my blanket. But it's just like a test of our resilience and of our faith, and about our maturity as well. So but yeah, a sharp tongue might not be very, very smart during this time. And thank you so much, Becca. That is so, so sweet. Thank you. And Arnold says sauna time it is. Yeah, it might be very good to go hide in the sauna. Just know that in the sauna, it might get as equally hot as when you go out of the sauna with the Mars square Pluto. So, yeah. Then on the next, I'm too fast. The next transit is actually Venus in Virgo is gonna square Uranus in Gemini on September 29th. That is going to create some clashes in relationships as well. Venus, of course, is about devotion and refinement and love and grounded connection. Uranus in Gemini wants freedom, reinvention, mental stimulation. And when the two clash, they can result in some surprises as well. So I think after the eclipses and with the square between Mars and Pluto, that the Venus square Uranus a week after that, on top of all the rest, is going to be like the final straw for a lot of people. I think we're going to see some breakups and unexpected shifts, especially in relationships. Collectively, it's going to trigger things regarding technology and AI, but you guys already know that by now if you've been following this channel for some time. But just know that all of this intense energy, it is to liberate, not to put you in a jail. If you find yourself in a jail, especially with the lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, you are in your own confinement. You are actually maybe the one who's locking yourself up in a jail. We have a lot of free will, and whenever we have a full and a new moon, even though it falls in a particular area of your chart, we always have a free will to do with the energy what we want or what we would like. Whenever we have eclipses coming in, that is like destiny. That is a time when our free will is less available to us. Whenever we have eclipses, that is when fate decides our next direction. And then with the Venus square Uranus, it can be like, yeah, just like too much. And people are going to be like, okay, I've seen it. I know the truth. I'm over it. And I'm going to break free. So it's not all negative. Going through the process might feel a little bit draining, but overall it is to set us free, and it all has like a higher meaning for sure. So the overall themes, of course, for September are detoxification, realignment, physically, emotionally, spiritually. The Pisces Lunar Eclipse is going to reveal illusions and hidden wounds, and Virgo Solar Eclipse is really going to call us to raise our standards and really embody healthier routines. So big purification, accountability, purity, honesty, and also a cosmic reminder to release what drains us, embrace what nourishes us, and also to step into a more authentic version of ourselves. So be careful for nervous system overload, for emotional hijacking, for energetic contamination. The energetic parasites, they must go this month. Everyone who feeds on your light, on your joy, and on your success to suit their own emptiness, they can go. Everything that leaves you feeling depleted, leaves you questioning yourselves, or even doubting your own intuition, everyone who has such an impact on you needs to go. And it can happen quite naturally. If you allow to toxic relationships to really persist, the body, it keeps a score. Trauma research really shows that, and it appears in migraines, stomach issues, tight shoulders, like clenching the jaws. I'm like a specialist in that. Can also happen in autoimmune flare-ups again. And these are actually all ways of the body saying, like, you are not safe here, and we really need to work on our safety. We need to really tap into our gut knowing, but before we can really truly tap into our gut knowing, we need to cleanse all the parasites and everything that's like messing with that. Otherwise, parasites literally and figuratively can really change someone's mind and someone's behavior. So and also our conscious actions. So we really need to like detoxify a lot during this time. So all the dissonance is going to manifest as exhaustion, brain fog, and feeling off. And if you know that, then yeah, when your body is overloaded and inflamed or run down, you're more likely to actually tolerate toxic people because you don't actually have the energy to set boundaries. Well, the toxicity is going to reach such a high level in the next few months that we're going to be forced to really do that. So yeah, really nourish your body. Also be careful with water contamination, like Neptune and Saturn jumping back into the sign of Pisces, a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces as well. Be careful about water contamination, and yeah, we can see some weird things in the next few months in regards to health, especially. So, and Katie says, Becca says, if we aren't in a relationship, then are we going to argue with ourselves? Yeah, well, definitely can be. We all have a good and a dark side, and they can be up for a battle as well. And Barnum says, take the cold plunge. Yeah, we might need to cool off during the last week of September for sure. And Katie says, time to talk to the person in the mirror. Yeah, exactly. Just face yourself and the truth. And yeah, I think I'm there. I'm gonna start with each of the 12 signs. And thank you guys for joining and for yeah, saying such funny things during the lives. I really, really love all of you guys. So the readings for the 12 signs. Let's start with my dear fellow Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, for Aries, September is going to really unfold as a month of learning how to temper the fire with more balance, because Mars is still moving through Libra, through your seventh house for most of the month. Your natural drive is filtered through the lens of relationships. So, know that it's not about losing your individuality, but about refining it through the mirror of others. Every conversation or partnership is actually becoming an opportunity to test your ability to assert yourself without burning bridges. So you're gonna have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces on September the 7th, and that's gonna happen in your 12th house. A zone of endings, release, subconscious, also self-sabotaging behavior, things from 30 years that are going to see a final culmination. This is a big karmic purge. Let go of all the hidden baggage, all the unhealthy habits, secret fears, all the things that have been quietly draining your energy. Can be people. So a lot of people, as a fellow Aries, I know we put people in their place and they don't like that. And sometimes the best thing you can do is actually just walk away. We don't actually need to put them into our place because they're always projecting their insecurities onto us, and they're a little bit jealous because we have the balls to say what's going on. They might see that as self-sabotaging behavior, the way that we are actually saying it as it is. But maybe it's self-sabotaging behavior by sticking to people who are actually not healthy for us. So sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away, and that is going to be emphasized here for you. Can be subtle in the 12th house, but because it's a full moon lunar eclipse, I don't think it will be that subtle. And also, Saturn just retrograded back here by the 1st of September, and is also going to show you where your sleeping routines and escapism and also toxic cycles are actually undermining your vitality. Vitality, excuse me. So if there's any deception, either from your own or from others, if that has been clouding your path, then now it's going to come to light. And it's going to really push you to cleanse your emotional and spiritual body. Think back to the end of February the 26th, 27th, we had a new moon in Pisces. And on March the 13th this year, we had an eclipse in Virgo as well. So a new moon and a full moon in the sign of Virgo. We had a solar eclipse in Aries, excuse me. So, but things that happen now are going to be connected to those 2 weeks from the end of February until the middle of March. So these threads might actually now reach some kind of closure. Then 2 weeks later, And hey, Inge, 2 weeks later, my dear Aries, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and it's gonna happen in your sixth house. It's health, routines, daily work. So after the more cocooning energy of the Pisces eclipse, because it happens in the 12th of the Pisces eclipse, some of you are gonna feel like you need to rest a little bit more, like withdrawal, process everyone's like psychoness around you and how people are like exposing their deceptive tendencies, and that can feel quite draining. So after you've took some time to purge all of that, um, the one in Virgo in the sixth house is really a reset button. It's a chance to build a healthier lifestyle without the toxic parasites. So it's also a good time to really refine your skills, and commit to a new order in your daily life that feels less draining or feels less stressful, because Virgo rules stress as well. So in the 12th house, you purge the stress from the sixth as well. And we need to balance out mental and physical health with the 12th and the sixth house axis. So Mercury is going to be in your seventh house, which is, of course, the ruler of the eclipse. And I forgot to mention that for the Pisces lunar eclipse, but something in the 12th house is getting purged, and it's trining Jupiter in the fourth. So whatever you're purging is going to lead towards more happiness in your home area or within the family. So I just want to quickly add that as well. So for the solar eclipse, Mercury is the ruler of this eclipse, and it's in your seventh house of partnerships. So advisors, therapists, counselors, astrologers, people who can be of guidance to you are going to play an immense role, and there can be some very important conversations happening. The opposition to Neptune really also warns you against some blurred boundaries in those dealings. And then we see Venus in the sixth, squaring Uranus, and that can really suggest these sudden changes in your work environment, or also in regards to your health. It can also be in regards to new co-workers, a new system at work, maybe a shift in how you approach your wellness. But this eclipse, it really reminds you that the little habits that you choose daily, that they become like the new foundational basis of your future success. So, and then on the 22nd of September, Mars is going to enter Scorpio. The energy is going to sharpen. And it's like happening in the eighth house of intimacy, shared resources, transformation. So here the warrior archetype that you carry as an Aries sun or rising, it's going to invite you to step into deeper, muddier waters. How do you use your power when it's no longer just your own? Real strength is also found in your willingness to face your shadows and all the fears, attachments, and unspoken truths that normally lie beneath the surface are gonna come up. A time to actually transmute vulnerability into resilience, and to see that some endings, depths, or emotional intensity are not always your enemies, but actually initiations into a way more profound form of empowerment. So Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, September, it is about balancing assertiveness with diplomacy and also transforming intensity into wisdom. Relationships are going to act as your teachers and your mirrors, and it's going to give you deeper awareness of your own inner landscape. Mars is going to stir up the fire in Libra and then in Scorpio, and it's going to invite you really to learn how to hold the fire with a lot of grace and purpose without getting scared or without getting mad or angry. So step boldly into this month, and not as a lone warrior charging ahead, but as like a conscious leader who knows the true power lies in connection, in trust, and also in fearless transformation. So good luck, my dear fellow Aries. And hi, Ma'am Jax. All right, we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is going to be a month where your natural longing for stability is going to meet like a sudden bigger call for greater joy, and because Venus in Leo is traveling through your fourth house until the 19th of the month. So yeah, there can be a lot of focus on the home, on women in your family, on your inner sanctuary. Also a period where emotional security becomes very, very important. You're going to feel drawn to beautify your living space, maybe reconnect with family bonds, or you're going to feel the need to seek comfort in the familiar, comfort zone vibes. So it's also going to highlight your attachment to your roots, and also the way that your past is actually shaping your present sense of your own values and self-worth. So yeah, the lesson here is that true comfort is not just material, it is actually found in cultivating a place and a space where your heart feels at ease. Venus is going to enter Virgo on the 19th of the month, and it's going to really make an energy shift into your fifth house of romance, joy, and children. So, very beautiful, very fertile placement for Venus. It's going to bring a lot of opportunities to experience love and pleasure in a very grounded and sustainable way. Beauty doesn't only exist in grand gestures or like these dramatic passions. It is also found in the small daily choices and chores that actually honor our creativity and also our desire to play and have fun. So, good time for romance to blossom here. Just know that it's less about fantasy and more about building connections that feel practical and also nourishing. Your inner child here is being invited to dance. Your chart ruler in the fifth house is a very, very positive sign, and it's going to remind you that pleasure is very essential to the soul. Then on September the 7th, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in Pisces. So it's going to light up your 11th house of friends, networks, your community, can bring powerful revelations about the groups that you belong to the people that you call allies and like-minded, and the social spaces that either uplift you or downright drain you. So Saturn is retrograde here as well. You need to hold really high standards in friendships. And it's also gonna highlight how you show up as a friend. So I know some Tauruses are gonna really purge a toxic connection, or they're gonna realize that the social circle is no longer aligned with your own values. So if you're like a blogger or a YouTuber or active on any social media channel, then this can really mark a very breakthrough moment. Can be a major milestone that gets achieved here. So surround yourself with people who reflect your integrity and release all the connections that no longer serve your growth. Then 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a solar eclipse in the fifth house in Virgo. So creativity, romance, children, bold new beginning here with the energy of the eclipse. And it can also be about a new romance suddenly, or maybe thinking about children, or something very important happens in the life of your children. Could even mark the arrival of a new child. Just know that everything that's happening right now in these areas, they have a very, very karmic tone with the eclipse energy. Venus in the fifth is going to square your Uranus in your second house. So kids might also need more money, or you're going to like splurge a little bit of too much money on having fun. That is also a possibility. Mercury is in your sixth, really putting emphasis, because Mercury is the ruler of the solar eclipse. So while it's in your sixth house, it's going to put a lot of emphasis on your work, on your job, on your health and your daily routine. And you might, it's going to remind you that your creative fire needs more grounded rituals to thrive. So yeah, align fun with responsibility and pleasure with purpose. And also give yourself permission to really create, to love, to express yourself fully, unapologetically, and joy is such a vital part of your life's foundation, and you need to really, yeah, weave that more into your life. And with the new moon solar eclipse, you're gonna have a chance to do that. So September is really gonna encourage you to blend stability with spontaneity. Security within the home is gonna weave together with the spark of new creativity being brought into that. So yeah, you are actually the builder of solid foundations, and also you are actually the artist of your own choice. So create beauty that not only lasts but also uplifts your spirit day by day, so in your daily routine as well. So good luck, my dear Taurus. Then we have Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is going to bring a very dynamic shift for you because, yeah, your ruling planet Mercury is going to move through three different houses. So it's going to activate three distinct different layers of your life this month. So Mercury is picking up speed now that it's leaving Leo. So yeah, and it's gonna begin to spark your third house, and still right now, and then it's going over to your fourth and then the fifth. So yeah, a lot of action for you this month. You're gonna feel very compelled to share ideas, to change something within the home, and to flirt more, have more fun in conversations whenever it moves to these three houses. And also, you're also reminded that language is, it's not just a tool, it's actually an extension of your creative spirit, and you're going to feel more energy moving in that during the month of September. And so on September the 2nd, Mercury is going to shift into Virgo, and that is in your fourth house of home, roots, and family. So the focus can turn a little bit more inwards. There can be very important conversations with family. There can be reflections on past conversations with them, or you can also be reorganizing something in your living space. Yeah, so and after that, I actually forgot the exact date, but after that it's gonna switch over into Libra by the end of the month. So yeah, a lot of things are gonna really, it's gonna be a busy month for you, my dear Gemini. On the 7th of September, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and it's going to activate your 10th house of career, your social status, also your visibility, your natural authority, people in authority above you as well. It's going to reveal truths about your professional path, about your reputation, can even reveal truth about your parents. Maybe some of them is having some issues, can be like you have the eclipses playing out in the house of the mother and the father. So something with the family can definitely come up for you, my dear Gemini, in the next few weeks. Maybe a father is struggling with some mental health issues or having like a tough time. But the mother, and by that, the mother has to take on a new daily routine by having to take care of the father. That is like a possibility here. I do not want to manifest that. I just want to give you like a heads up about that. Saturn is also back retrograde in the 10th house, and Saturn also rules over the father. So, yeah, there's like double emphasis. Or maybe some of you are going to have to take some more care of your own father, and maybe you need to work a little bit less because of that. That is also a possibility. But yeah, you're actually being asked to evaluate the sustainability of your ambitions, and if your current career really aligns with your long-term vision, or are you just keeping up appearances? Some Geminis are going to really release a career path, and are going to shift in another role. There can also be, yeah, some manipulation going on in the workplace, or some like psychos at work who are like giving you a hard time. On the positive side, it can also mark a major milestone, public achievement as well, when actually your work from 30 years and back is going to receive some recognition and a lot of impact. And of course, with Uranus in your first house, you really, yeah, embodying all this new reinvention. You no longer are actually interested in playing by these outdated rules who do not work for you. So yeah, you're breaking free, definitely. Then 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and it's gonna oppose Saturn in your 10th house, who's just been going retrograde back into that house. So, but the Virgo eclipse falls in your fourth house of home, family, emotional foundations. Redefine your roots, redefine your private life, and there can be major changes in the place that you call home. So some can move, some can change their living situation. Some are going to have some new responsibilities with family, maybe caring for a parent or maybe becoming a parent yourself. Saturn is opposing this eclipse. Stability and maturity are really required now in your home. Venus is in your fourth house, squaring Uranus in your first. There's gonna be some surprises within family dynamics and changes in your domestic life. There are also gonna be shifts in how you value your security. Yeah, you need to bring harmony into your inner world because your outer success depends on a solid emotional foundation. And later in the month, Mercury is going to slide into Libra, and that's going to happen in your fifth house. So during the new moon solar eclipse, the ruler of this eclipse is Mercury, and it's in your fifth house of romance, joy, and children and play. And luckily, that's going to bring a bit of lighter and more joyful tone. And yeah, good dealings and love affairs, playful exchanges of ideas. So yeah, step into this month with the awareness that your words can really build both homes and love stories during this time, and also let your voice be the bridge between your own emotional stability and how to connect that with more joy inside of the home, and know that if there's some hiccups in the family or within the home, that it's temporary and the eclipse is bringing them up. So good luck, my dear Gemini. We have Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You're being ruled by the Moon, so this eclipse season is gonna feel especially raw and emotional for you, just like every year. Yeah, eclipse season are having always a little bit more impact on Cancer because the Moon is your chart ruler, especially if you're a Cancer rising. So yeah, these events are gonna touch you deeply, and luckily the lunar eclipse in Pisces is gonna make a trine to Cancer, so that is very important because the Pisces lunar eclipse is trining Jupiter, which is in your sign, and it's exalted. So yeah. Eclipses are always like these tidal waves that are reshaping your inner world. So the Pisces lunar eclipse is going to stir up hidden feelings, and the Virgo eclipse is really going to, yeah, ground those emotions through the daily habits and the daily routines that you're going through. So yeah, you're going to feel extra sensitive, extra intuitive. You can even feel a little bit more moody as the eclipses are going to unfold. Just know that it's not weakness, it's actually your natural ability to feel very deeply and also to like alchemize all these emotions into wisdom. Take good care of yourself, my dear Cancer. Trust your intuition, honor your emotional cycles, and also embrace rest whenever you need it. Um, and Becca, of course, is a Cancer rising. It's always about more sensitivity and intuitive. Grounding is key. Barefoot walking. Yes, exactly, Becca. I know you have a lot of planets in Cancer, and I'm hoping now that the square between Jupiter and Saturn is over, or like it is like, yeah, coming off of the square with Saturn. I hope you feel more of the positive benefits of Jupiter. Like, my dear Cancers, let me know if you start to feel like a shift in that. And Becca says 4 planets in Cancer, yikes. Well, Becca, that's not yikes, but I have 4 planets in Pisces, and I'm also like yikes, especially with the lunar eclipse that's about to hit off on all my planets. Help. So, my dear Cancer, you are gonna have a lunar eclipse on September the 7th in your ninth house. Ninth house is about beliefs, about travel, about higher education, about philosophy and religion. So, really, a moment of truth is being awakened about your worldview. You're gonna release an outdated belief system. You can also complete a study. You can confront illusions within your own spiritual or intellectual framework as well. Saturn is back retrograde here in this house from the 1st of September. He's asking you to really evaluate whether your philosophies truly ground you in wisdom or if they are keeping you confined. The eclipse might also highlight matters with in laws, with long distance journeys or connections, also with publishing, with gurus and false spiritual gurus as well. And hidden truths are going to come to light, and boundaries must be set. Yeah, it's also a very big chance to experience a spiritual awakening or some breakthrough in perspective, or like a sense of compassion that is going to widen your worldview as well. So, and Sherisby says, I have five houses in Aquarius, 5 planets. I think you mean, oh my God. Are we all stellium people here? We all have like a bunch of energy compact in one sign. It's like a lot. And Barno says Lilith and Pisces. What could that mean if it's not much to ask? Well, Barno, do you have Lilith and Pisces? Because people who are like all the people, like all the mediums, people who draw cards, people who are channel with deceased people, a lot of them they have Lilith and Pisces. They have like this connection to I would say the dark side, which is also true. But like, yeah, the things that are hidden, the things that are in the dark, the things we cannot see, feel, or touch, they have a very quite profound connection with that. So I don't know if you have Lilith and Pisces, you might be my next fortune teller. So let me know how that resonates, Arno. So Cancer, the full moon solar eclipse in Virgo is going to activate your third house, and that is communication, writing, siblings, a very big reset for how you speak, think, and organize your everyday life. Like communication might get a little bit hectic. Don't be too critical, and if others are if others are criticizing you, you might need to purge them. So yeah, some cancers are going to begin like a major project that can be launching a podcast, blogging, writing a book, new studies. Others are going to really experience a very big shift in their relationship with their siblings or with their neighbors. Saturn is opposing here, so your knowledge will be tested. You're being really pushed to refine your voice, to speak up for yourself. Venus is in the third. It's going to make your words more creative, and you can have more dynamic. Venus here, when Venus jumps into Virgo later in the month. I'm having a brain fart. Okay, so Venus is first in the second, but with the solar eclipse, and I'm sorry, I just had to switch this. Yeah, that's why I was confused. Okay, so Venus is in the third, and it's gonna make you way more charming, and your words can be more lovable. And Mercury, the ruler of this eclipse in Virgo, is gonna oppose Neptune, and it's gonna really balance your logic with your intuition. But yeah. This is about building healthier daily habits and to communicate really with integrity. Overall, September is really going to heighten your sensitivity and your intuition, especially with Jupiter blessing your sign. And it's also going to really amplify your faith in your own wisdom. And you might also experience these emotional surges with eclipses, but every fluctuation really holds meaning. And it's also reminding you about the deep connection between what you feel inside and what's happening in the outside world. Trust the waves. Yeah, trust the wave this month. Every rise and fall is actually guiding you towards a greater understanding of who you are and who you are becoming, and also how far that you can reach when you let your intuition really lead the way. So good luck, my dear Cancer. Then we have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's up, my dear Leos? September is gonna be a month where, yeah, you are ruled by the sun. So the solar essence is actually channeled into grounding your worth and also expanding your voice, because the sun is going to be in Virgo until the 22nd. And then it shifts over to Libra. So it's going to jump into your second house now for quite some time. Actually, I would need to have like for these monthly overviews, I would need to be able to like shift the days within the program here live on YouTube. But I haven't found like an exact way to do that. So if anyone knows that, please help me out. It would be so much more easy if I could like just switch the days live here with you guys. But just trust what I say, even if it's not here displayed on screen. It's just because it's not the right date then. So, but to continue, um, you're gonna have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces on September the 7th, and that's gonna happen in your eighth house. So, yeah, quite emotional for you, my dear Leo. The eighth is a very deep house, mystical, occult, fears, manipulation are all hidden in the eight, but so are shared resources, intimacy, all kinds of shadow work, a very, very powerful purge. Shedding toxic habits can be about addictive patterns, can be about lingering soul attachments that actually drain your vitality, can be about old wounds, old memories from the past, old crises from the past that are resurfacing. Process them with honesty rather than to bury them right now. Um, you can pay off a very big debt. You can restructure your investments. You can actually even benefit from investments paying off. But on a spiritual level, the eclipse is really, yeah, about confronting your shadows and also about integrating them into your wholeness. Do not deny their existence, because with Saturn also co-present here, take responsibility for your deepest vulnerabilities, and you need to transform them into strength. So, yeah, face your shadows. And 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in the second house here in Virgo. So, for you, my guys, this month, this eclipse season, the financial houses are implicated. So, a lot of financial dealings. So, me versus the other, how much do I share? How much do I work for myself? And big changes with that. Um, and Becca says, watch out, Leo's eighth house crap incoming. Oh my god, yes. Like, whenever I have Mars, for example, as an Aries rising, as an Aries sun in my eighth house, Mars rules my eighth house. Like, oh my god, that is such a wild month. Always a bunch of things that come up, and my fears getting triggered, and like really having to breathe through it. So, yeah, not very easy for the Leos, but you will get through it. You're gonna emerge so much stronger out of this. Like, it's gonna be unreal. But the solar eclipse in Virgo is gonna happen in the opposite side of the eighth, in the second house. So, yeah, very big reset in how you earn, how you spend, also how you cultivate stability, and it's tied to your values and your self-worth. And some are gonna launch a new type of income stream. Some are gonna reevaluate their finances, maybe having to budget a little bit. And with Saturn opposing from the eighth, because Saturn has been back into the eighth as well, retrograde. Financial ties with others will test integrity and your integrity and the integrity of the other as well. So, are you actually managing your shared resources wisely? Are you building habits that strengthen your independence rather than dependency? Because with Mercury, the ruler of this eclipse in your third house, it's about communicating and networking and also. Uh, New skills that actually play a role in shaping this new fresh chapter of how to bring in new money for yourself. Venus is going to be in Virgo in the second house, joining the party in Virgo as well. So yeah, it suggests that beauty and creativity are actually woven into how you generate your income or also how you relate to your possessions. So evaluate your standards both materially, spiritually, so what you build has long-term value. Sun is going to move into Libra on the 22nd of September, and so the energy is going to shift to your third house of communication, learning, siblings, neighbors, immediate environment, and the natural charisma is going to flow more into how you speak. So yeah, there's gonna be some conversations and like opportunities for harmony in that. Short trip studies. Overall, September is gonna invite you to really root your solar energy and practical value and also how to extend it outward through like this balanced communication. So good luck, my dear Leo. And Barno, I'm gonna quickly read your comment. Um, yes, yes, yes. If you go to the Woods Barno on the 7th of September, that is indeed that's going to be a very powerful activation. This is definitely not a coincidence. En breng je katje botten voordat het regent met de solar eclipse, met de lunar eclipse in Pisces, because Pisces is a water sign. I just like told them in Dutch that he needs to bring his boots whenever it rains. So, the next one is gonna be Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Oh my God, my dear fellow Virgo risings. Like, first of all, let me know how you're doing. Like, September is gonna be one of the most defining months of the entire year. You're gonna have a solar eclipse in your sign, so very big reset in identity and direction. Mercury is no longer retrograde, so yeah, we can drink on that. Um, the mind is beginning to be more clear. The fog and uncertainty is going to lift at the beginning of the month. Mercury still lingers a bit in Leo in the 12th of the subconscious, retreat, reflection in the world, subconscious. But Mercury is going to enter Virgo on September the 2nd. So it says if you step into the spotlight again, with your words becoming more sharper, your focus is gonna be more clear. Yeah, you're given like a megaphone from September the 2nd. So Mercury in your first house is the ability to really express yourself with precision, and it becomes one of your strongest assets. So on September the 7th, however, you're gonna have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces opposite your sign, so in the seventh house. So it's gonna put a focus on partnerships of all kinds under this lunar spotlight. Can be a romantic partner, a business partner, can even become a very, very close friend. Maybe, just maybe, they've been a little bit dishonest, or maybe manipulative, or maybe some of them have simply just checked out. If they've been, the truth is going very likely to surface. So bonds who are built on trust and on empathy can really deepen through moments of deeply, truly shared vulnerability. Saturn is back retrograde in the 7th. You're being asked to really face reality. You're going to be faced with the question, does the connection have endurance and longevity, or is it maybe time to release it? Some Virgos, it might really, really mark the end of a relationship cycle that has reached like a karmic fulfillment. Some soul contracts that are karmically completed, and soul contracts from the past 30 years, a lot of them might be naturally dissolved. But for other Virgos, it could also be a moment of like bigger commitment with clearer boundaries. So yeah, honor the truth in your relationships. Also release what no longer serves you, so you can build a new bond with integrity and compassion. So yeah, the next one, 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in your sign, guys. Very, very, very big emotional reset of your identity in the first. So it's about reinventing yourself. It can be about your appearance, about the role that you play when you wake up, first thing you do in the morning, your identity, your habits. Yeah, it's opposing Saturn in the seventh. So the reinvention is tied directly to relationships. Like, who are you when you stand on your own? And also, how do you imbalance that with being part of a partnerships? Venus is also going to be in Virgo, so embody more self-love and also refinement in the way that you carry yourselves. Mercury, which is of course your ruler and the ruler of the solar eclipse, it's in the second by then, really putting an emphasis on money as well, and value and self-worth. And so by having a big shift in your identity, your self-worth can really like see an increase. But it's gonna take a lot of hard work with the opposition to Saturn, and like commit to building a better version of yourself, because you're gonna feel blocked maybe by other people. Other people might block your process, or other people might not be very happy to see you shine brightly. And if you feel that from them, just like show them where the door is, because you might need to purge a lot of things during the next few months. With Venus in Virgo, you're actually kind of protective, protected by any health circumstances, but I would definitely watch my health, even if Venus is in Virgo as well. But with Mercury in the second, Mercury is your ruler. It also really suggests that your values and your confidence are actually the big foundation of this transformation. This eclipse is going to feel like a very, very big new chapter, where you finally stop molding yourselves around others' expectations, and like finally start living in alignment with your own authentic truth. And oh wow, guys, I have been feeling that for sure. Later in the month, Mercury is gonna go on through your second house of money and values. It's really gonna, yeah, shift the bridge between like personal transformation that you've undergone with the solar eclipse, and it's gonna tie that with a more grounded sense of stability within yourself, within your self-worth, within your identity. So really embrace this month as like your cosmic new chapter, and speak your truth boldly. Trust your growth, trust the waves of change, and also let your evolving self really become the foundation for the abundance and the balance that you are ready to create and actually really deserve to yeah, to receive. So also know that the eclipse form, like you can see it here, a kind of, it's a kind pattern, and it points towards Saturn and Neptune, and the solar eclipse is like the instigator of the guide. So yeah, a lot of emphasis on how other people make you feel, and stop the people pleasing. Stop trying to fit into a box that was never meant for you, because it will never work. This is your time to step out of it, and to stop constantly cleaning up after other people's mess when they're not even grateful for you. So all the love and all the sacrifice and all the service that you give to other people, it might finally be the time to just like put all that energy into yourself, and you're gonna be a way happier person. Like, and if you really want to keep cleaning up other people's mess, then you're gonna bounce your head against the wall, and it's gonna hurt. So, take care of yourselves. You are the most important person in the world, and whenever other people are blocking you, don't let them stop you, and watch your health. So, yeah, this eclipse is actually this big cosmic permission slip to reinvent yourself, to release the old version of who you are, and to really step into a destiny that truly aligns with your true self-worth, your true worth, and also your true future potential as well. So use it wisely, and cut out all the parasites and the energy vampires, and yeah, just wave at them and smile, and walk away. So, good luck, my dear Virgo. Then we have Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is going to bring a very big shift from this outer connection to inward reflection. And it's going to be because of your ruling planet Venus. During the first 3 weeks, Venus moves through Leo and the 11th house of friendships, groups, aspirations, really encouraging you to really step into social spaces where you feel a lot of joy and creativity and inspiration, and then connect with your allies and like-minded people. Yeah, be nourished by the energy of community. On September the 7th, you're gonna see a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and it's gonna happen in your 6th house. And be careful, guys, Saturn has been going retrograde from the 1st of September, also back to your 6th house of health and work environment. So can feel like a little bit burdened at work. Maybe some chronic issues are gonna pop back up. It's really a wake-up call to either celebrate how far that you've come in your healing and your wellness, or it's finally time to recognize where all the unhealthy patterns have gone unchecked. So, big turning point within your body, within your workload, can even be with a pet. Take care of your pets, my dear Libra, especially risings. You can complete a very big project at work. You can finally move on from these tedious responsibilities as well. You can also address habits that no longer support your vitality. You might also feel a little bit emotionally drained with so much energy. And the 12th, opposite the 6th, tend to your body and your daily rituals with honesty, and create more space for balance and renewal as well. On September the 19th, Venus is going to enter Virgo, and that's going to enter your 12th house of retreat and spirituality and hidden realms. It's really going to shift the focus inward. It's actually a way more softer and more contemplative energy. Love and beauty are actually going to be experienced in the quiet moments behind the scenes, rather than the social ones, in the friend group, like we saw it with Venus and Leo. So yeah, rediscover your peace, not through this outer approval, but through the self-reflection and the surrender. If you crave more solitude, that's normal. So then, 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and that is gonna happen in your 12th house. So if you are an early degree Libra rising, let's say 0 to 5 degrees Libra rising, then this solar eclipse is gonna happen on your rising. You're gonna be massively implicated by that. You're gonna really, really feel that. But the positive thing is that whenever I had an eclipse on my rising, and a long chronic issue got dissolved, but then I started struggling with something else, but that was very acute and it got fixed as well. But definitely something in your body and your health can come up, so take some extra rest whenever you feel like you need to. But for most of Libras, the eclipses in 29 degrees in the 12th house can be a bit quieter behind the scenes, but it's incredibly karmic. It's a time of closure, spiritual purification, retreat, release of old subconscious patterns, toxic attachments, and even also secret conditions that actually drain you more than you admit yourself to. So Mercury rules this eclipse. It's in your sign. It's in the sign of Libra. Clarify your voice, align with your inner truth. Venus, your ruler, joins the eclipse in Virgo, also in the 12th house, suggesting that actually love and pressure is best directed currently during that time towards healing, reflection, and actually private devotion rather than an outward show. So deception in relationships might also surface. But yeah, it's actually a chance to choose honesty with yourself and with others as well. Libra season is going to start at the 22nd of September, so right after that, yeah, you're going to step into a more lighter and refreshed version of yourself. So balance, vibrancy of your community this month with the healing of solitude after that. And the first half of the month is going to shine a very big light on collaboration and celebration. While the second half of the month is really going to ask you to slow down and to tend to your health and also to listen to the deeper needs. So yeah, let yourself first be the social butterfly and then the quiet sage. Embrace the truth that harmony comes not only from others but mostly from the peace within yourself. So good luck, my dear Libra. Then we have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is gonna unfold as a very, very deeply transformative month for you guys. It is shaped by the dance between your ruler Mars and Pluto. So Scorpio, you have two rulers. Mars is your ancient ruler. Pluto is your modern day ruler, and they're gonna be in a square by the 24th of September. Pluto is retrograde in the fourth house, and Mars in Scorpio on your Sun, Moon, or Rising is gonna square that. So yeah, that is not nice. So with Pluto retro in the fourth, the focus continues to circle back to the home and family and responsibilities within the home. And yeah, the retrograde process is very, very long. And sorry if you like see all the hairs flying around. I had like my cat on my lap earlier before this video and it's like, pooh. But okay, I digress. So Pluto in the fourth, it feels, it brings you back to memories, ancestral patterns, hidden dynamics within the family, manipulative family, especially the mother as well. Acknowledge the dynamics within your family, and if it's necessary, release some of them. You're going to have a lunar eclipse in Pisces in your fifth house by September the 7th. So yeah, a full or a new moon within the fifth house, they are like the best full and new moons you can get. So that in itself is positive. The fact that it trines Lilith in your sign and it trines Jupiter in Cancer, there's like a very big water trine going on in your charts, especially if you're Scorpio rising and it's going to trine your rising. If your Scorpio sun is going to trine your sun or your moon, then that's all way more beneficial. This one, the one in Virgo, is going to be a bit more difficult. But in the fifth, it puts the spotlight on love, creativity, and joy. Stepping into the spotlight, having a new performance. It can also be a big turning point in your romantic life. And others are gonna release like a casual fling or flirt that doesn't align with deeper values, or people who do not want to commit to you, then that will really definitely be released. But it will create more freedom and opening up other opportunities for you. So because it's in the fifth, it can also be related to children. Some of you are going to want to step into parenthood. Saturn retrograde in the 7th and the 5th can also be a very big reality check about how heavy parentinghood really is. Um, Everything in regards to romance and children and responsibilities, and regarding to that, you're seeing that in a new and sobering, realistic light with that. At the same time, Mars is hidden in your 12th house. It suggests fatigue, restless nights. You need to balance your sleeping patterns. And yeah, you need to learn how to transmutate your inner shadows, and also in how you seek joy and transmute that into love and art and healing. Can actually be a very, very quite positive eclipse for you, my dear Scorpios. You're already very used to the intense subtle energies of the universe and the fact that it trines you, and with the trine to Jupiter. Just be a little bit careful about hidden enemies, especially if they live overseas. Mars in the 12th can also be frequent nightmares. So, yeah. 2 weeks later, you're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in the 11th house of friendships and communities and your like-minded people. You might need to set higher standards for your community or your friendships. And maybe you need to like kick out some friendships that drain you. Maybe some of you are going to step into a new circle. Good time to launch a new social media project, maybe join a new group effort, rediscover who your true allies are. Saturn opposing that from the 5th. Balance is really needed between your personal creative expression and what you bring into a group. Don't lose your voice in the collective. Venus also is in the 11th. It's gonna sweeten some it's really gonna sweeten social connections, but squaring Uranus in the 8th, it might bring some unexpected surprises around shared finances, around intimacy, around power dynamics with friends as well. And Mars is gonna enter your sign the very, very next day. Whew! You might feel a little bit bolder, stronger. You might be a little bit more motivated to cut away what no longer resonates with you. Don't get out the Scorpio stinger if it's not necessary. Otherwise, you're going to face karmic consequences a few days later, because Mars in Scorpio is going to form a square to Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio. So very, very intense and important month for you, my dear Scorpio, apart from, of course, Pisces and Virgo and eclipses in that. Scorpio and Aries are going to have quite the interesting month as well. So Mars, the ancient ruler, is going to empower you with courage and determination in your first house, but Pluto is going to test all that fire by challenging you to break free from all these deep-seated attachments within the home and within the family system. So it's going to manifest as power struggles, control issues, a desire to burn bridges. Beneath all the friction really lies a chance for radical rebirth. So yeah, it's about facing the paradox of power. Learning that true strength is not about domination or resistance, but about surrendering what no longer serves, and also to consciously reclaim your will. So it's actually an invitation into becoming your own source of security, independent of old narratives or old things that actually drain you or keep you stuck. So yeah, trust that the fire that you feel this month, it is not meant to consume you, it is meant to forge you. So let it burn away the old foundations, rise up stronger, freer, and more aligned with your own power. And be careful about burning bridges with the family that are actually not necessary and who are actually just triggering your abuse of control or abuse of power. If you're gonna abuse your power or misuse your power during this month, then by the next Mars Pluto conjunction, you can have quite the difficult time. So I would not advise you to do that, but I know you Scorpios are very, very strong-willed. Good luck, my dear Scorpio. Oh, I almost just knocked this glass over. Oh my god. All right. The next one is Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Yeah, Lakeside Laura, good save. It's what I would like almost spilled my water all over the computer. So yeah, not a good day to bless the computer with my holy water while doing a live. So okay. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is going to be a month of deep emotional evolution, guided by your ruling planet Jupiter. It's exalted in Cancer. In your eighth house of intimacy, shared resources, transformation. It's a very deep house. It's going to bring karmic gifts and also profound lessons around trust and vulnerability. It's going to encourage you to see intimacy as a teacher. Every partnership, financial arrangement, or emotional entanglement is going to reveal something about how you give and receive. So there's healing in those areas available now. So yeah, tap into that energy. So Sagittarius. On the 7th of September, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and it's going to happen in your fourth house. It's going to shine a very, very big, bright light, like a big emotional spotlight on the home, on the family, on your sense of belonging. The eclipse is trining your chart ruler, Jupiter. Some of you are going to move, relocate, redecorate, reset the dynamics within the home. Others are going to face responsibilities around a parent, a grandparent, or some household matters that can be a little bit draining here because Saturn is back into that house as well. And you're being really asked to clarify where your foundations feel weak and you need to rebuild them with a lot of honesty and integrity. It's going to bring the realization that maybe your living space no longer supports your growth, or people that you live with together, or old family patterns that are ready to be released. With Saturn here, it's all dynamics with parents and living situations that are going to resurface. And yeah, you need to face reality and restructure your foundation. It can feel heavy, but it also opens up the door to a more solid, spiritually aligned home basis. So, 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse within the sign of Virgo in your 10th house. And yeah, it really resets your trajectory in your career and your reputation within your public role. It's the moment that you might take on new responsibilities within your career. Can be a new project that you launch. You might shift your ambitions entirely. Some sages are going to experience a lot of recognitions, and others are going to feel pushed to really redefine authority within their lives, both as their own leader within their life or within relationship to their parents or their bosses. Saturn is opposing from the fourth. The challenge is to balance how you need to pursue your career goals without destabilizing your home or inner world. So Venus is in your 10th. It's going to really enhance your charm as well in public spaces. Yeah, just raise the bar on your own standards. No shortcuts, no good enough. Commit to integrity within your ambitions. Build a legacy that reflects both your strength and your truth. So yeah, overall, September is going to ask you to balance expansion with surrender. Really allow Jupiter's nurturing presence in the eighth to help you to trust the process. There can be wonderful financial opportunities, breakthroughs in emotional healing, and support that is going to come through others. Embrace transformation instead of resisting it, and see this month as a very sacred initiation. It's going to be in every part of your chart because the eclipse and the eclipses are squaring you by sign. All the mutable signs receive squares or oppositions or anything like that. So yeah, for the mutable signs, it is most they are most implicated. But Sagittarius are gonna have a shift in their home and within their career for sure. So good luck, my dear Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September brings like a return to the themes of patience, discipline, and also inner restructuring because your ruling planet Saturn is back into the sign of Pisces. And for you, my guys, Saturn pops back into the third house of communication and the mind, and also siblings. Um, Luckily, Saturn likes to be in Aries in Pisces more than in Aries. It is like definitely not happy in Aries. So you've probably really felt the shift with it going into Aries. And the fact that it goes back into the third, yeah, it's soften its lessons with some Piscean intuition. You're gonna notice like a karmic review of how you communicate, all patterns, how you talk, outdated beliefs. There can be a finishing up of unresolved projects within writing, studying, teaching. For closure, maybe some projects are gonna get refined, but there will also be dealings with siblings and with neighbors, travel plans that maybe get a little bit blocked or delayed. You cannot rush anything this month. Slow down, listen more deeply. Communication is really a tool of responsibility and also maturity. So on the 7th of September, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in your third house. So it's going to shine a light on everything I've just mentioned: siblings, neighbors, studying, travel, short distance travel, road trips, communication, and the mind in general. So yeah, this could bring like actually a closure to an ongoing conversation. And I know that's a little bit vague, but some daily communication you have with a lot of people might come abruptly to an end. So it can also be the end of writing a book, can be wrapping up an educational project, and there can be a bond. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if a brother or a sister has been like deceiving you, then it's gonna come up, and some of you are gonna clear the air, and others are gonna be like, okay, enough is enough. So yeah, keep that in mind. Saturn here in this house as well. You're really being pressed to refine the way that you speak and you think. Yeah, cut through the confusion, through the gossip, through the half truths. Yeah, others are gonna feel the call to really release old patterns and old thinking patterns or thought patterns that are keeping you stuck. Restructure your mind and also your words with integrity, and also allow to build like stronger intellectual and emotional foundations. So choose honesty and clarity in your words, and by doing that you're going to create connections that are actually both authentic and lasting. 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and that is gonna be in your ninth house. So a big reset in your philosophy and your limit, in your belief system. Limiting beliefs is more within the 12th house, but your belief system is in the ninth house. It's also about higher learning, spirituality, publishing, long distance travel, court cases. Yeah, so it could actually be the start of a new educational path, a writing or a publishing project, a new journey that can be literal but can also be spiritual, something that broadens your worldview. Saturn is opposing you from the third, so challenged a little bit to ensure that your beliefs and your higher visions are grounded within truth and not within illusions or these half-baked narratives or concepts. Some caps are really going to need to step into the role of a teacher or a mentor, and some of you are definitely going to be needing to share your wisdom while still refining your own understanding of it, and that can feel a little bit difficult, or yeah, you're gonna feel very responsible in that, and you might not feel ready, but you are ready, and you need to share your knowledge. Venus is going to join the party in ninth, so you could really find joy and inspiration through culture, study, and travel. While Mercury, the ruler of this eclipse, is actually in the 10th, and it's going to oppose Neptune in the 4th. And then it reminds you that you need to balance out these, yeah, professional clarity together with family responsibilities within the home. So you need to adopt a more mature and structured worldview that actually aligns with your integrity and your long-term growth. So yeah, by refining your beliefs and by expanding your vision, you're going to open the door to opportunities that honor both your truth and your wisdom. But overall, September is going to be testing, yet it's going to be very transformative. One that is going to strengthen your mental and your philosophical foundation strongly. Saturn in Pisces is going to teach you that structure is not only about rigidity, but it's also like about creating meaningful containers for your intuition and for your vision as well. So they are a big chance to refine your voice and your vision by weaving the discipline of Saturn with the imagination of Neptune and building the resilient Saturn to carry your wisdom into a future that feels more grounded and inspired, with all the things happening in the mind as well. So, good luck, my dear Capricorns. Yeah, Arno, you are a Capricorn rising. Yeah. And oh my God, there's so many comments. But okay, I'm just gonna read them later and continue with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September feels like a period of inner recalibration. Because yeah, both your rulers, Uranus and Saturn, are retrograde. So Uranus is gonna do that on the 6th of September. Saturn has been retrograde for a while and is going to dip back into Pisces by the 1st of September. So, yeah, a push and pull dynamic between innovation and structure for sure. True progress really requires both freedom and responsibility. Uranus is going to station retrograde in Gemini in your 5th house on the 5th of September, or on the 6th if you live in Europe, depends on your time zone. And the 5th is the house of creativity, romance, and play. So it's going to really turn your attention inward to re-examine how you express your joy, how you pursue love, how you channel your unique voice. Yes, this can really bring sudden sparks of inspiration. There can be unexpected twists in romance, but the deeper lesson here is about redefining fun on your own terms. So what brings you joy when no one else is watching? And can you let them watch whenever you have joy? Or do you feel the need to hide? Where have you sacrificed playfulness for control or chaos for stability? Saturn retrograde into Pisces in the 2nd house. This about reviewing matters of money and resources and self-worth. And Pluto is also retrograde in your 1st house, so there's even a deeper undercurrent within your sign about transformation. It's if your entire identity is like under construction. Like if you're fed up, you can like just walk around, or you can put like a sign on your head with like under construction. So yeah, these retrogrades, they're not about rushing forward, they're about refining and about restructuring your inner world so that your outer world can also flourish later. This is actually a sacred pause. Reinvent everything, take your time. So on the 7th of September, my dear Aquarius, you're going to have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and it's going to happen in your 2nd house of money. Yeah. Some are going to need to budget. Some of you are going to have an unexpected expense, and it can be quite a difficult and big expense over the next 6 months. But it's trine Jupiter in the 6th house of daily routines and work and workload, and like, yeah, you have a workload for sure. And you can create a new stream of income with an eclipse in the 2nd house. The 2nd is about money, possessions, talents, self-worth. Eclipses are moments of reckoning. Some of you might sell a possession. Some of you are going to revise your budget. Some of you are going to gain clarity. If you've been undervaluing your natural gifts. Saturn is also retrograde in this house. You've been asked to get serious about financial responsibilities, cut all the waste, align spending with long-term security, monetize your creative abilities, especially with Uranus in your 5th, shaking up how you approach creativity. Also, really realize that it's maybe time to purge financial entanglements or debts that no longer serve you. Step into like a stronger sense of self value. Shed all the habits that keep you in a scarcity mode. And by honoring your true worth and by managing your resources with wisdom, you can really create stability that reflects your inner value. And 2 weeks later, thank you so much, Arno. You are so sweet. Thank you, Astrid. You are really helping me find my own path and connect with my higher self. Less fear because you are here. You are awesome. Oh, Arno, that is like a rhyme. Less fear because you are here. I think that is awesome, and I'm gonna like really remember that. Thank you so much for your support, Arno. You've been like really helping the channel a lot, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much, Arno. So for my Aquarius, 2 weeks later, you're gonna have a solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, and that is gonna happen in your eighth house. So same for Leos, they have the lunar eclipse and Pisces in their eighth house. For you, Aquarius, you're gonna have the solar eclipse and Virgo in the eighth. So you are the two signs that are having a little bit more of a challenge. In the eighth, it is not easy. And brings really a very big reset in shared resources, in investments, and intimacy, and also in psychological transformation. So you might initiate a new financial plan. You might meet with advisors and also, yeah, redefine how you handle debts, taxes, inheritances, finances, and marriage. But yeah, for you guys, Leo and Aquarius, you have both eclipses in the money axis. So biggest emphasis on money for you guys. Make sure that your taxes are in order. You might have an unexpected inheritance, or if you have been waiting on one, it might come true right now. But yeah, it's also about setting boundaries about money in relationships without another person in the eight. You might need to decide who truly shares the responsibility and also who drains your energy, and you might need to cut ties with some of them, especially with Saturn opposing from the second house. The pressure is very clear. Your individual values must actually align with your joint commitments, or adjustments will need to be made. Venus is going to join the party in Virgo, and it's also going to join the eighth house. It amplifies intimacy and also the possibility of deeper trust. But it also asks you to look at attachments about fear around money, around love. Mercury is, of course, the ruler of this eclipse here in Virgo, and it's in your ninth, opposing Neptune in the third. So you can feel quite lost and confused within your mind during these times. It is about beliefs, it is about perspectives that might be a bit clouded. So really ground your decisions in facts. Your intuition might be a little bit off here. You might be overwhelmed by fear, by energetic attacks, even with things happening in the eighth and with Mercury opposing Neptune. Your vision, your long-term vision might be clouded. Your mind might become a little bit confused and hazy and brain fog. Like the best thing you can do with the eclipses in the sign of Virgo and Pisces, which rules over our mental and physical health, is to get rid of the brain fog. That is the most important thing for you guys. Um, the eclipse is not just about finances, it's also about facing your shadows and transforming your fear into strength and also reclaiming your power. And that's mostly going to be connected to money themes here. But restructure how you share your energy and your resources and liberate yourself from fear to be able to step into a more empowered connection. So, yeah, that was the most important part. And I wish you good luck with an eclipse in the 8th, my dear Aquarius. And then we have one of the stars of today's show, And that is my dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. September is going to be such a pivotal month, guys. There is both challenge and magic. I guess as a Pisces, you're quite familiar with that. So there is a lunar eclipse in your sign. This is really going to set the stage for very deep self discovery. And Jupiter is making a trine to the eclipse that is in your fifth house of joy, romance, creativity. And of course, Jupiter, it is your traditional ruler. So, yeah, an eclipse. Sorry, Jupiter in Cancer. Oh my god, I'm getting a bit tired. That's it. I'm just talking, but Jupiter is exalted in Cancer within the fifth house, and of course, yeah, Jupiter is your traditional ruler, but it's not in Pisces. I got confused, but it's trining Pisces. So yeah, okay, it was correct what I was saying. So, Jupiter in the fifth, it is about joy, romance, children, creativity, and also children are gonna play like a major role and like inspiring your next chapter in life that is about to unfold. The cosmos is really inviting you to weave more play and authenticity into the very, very fabric of your identity. Neptune is retrograde in Aries in your second house. So it really complicates the themes of money and possessions and self-worth a bit. And Saturn has just like entered your sign again as well from the 1st of September. So this is like the final chapter of Saturn in Pisces, and it's going to wrap up a very big 30-year-old karmic cycle within like your own identity. So your identity might really really shift in a big way. That can be due to someone trying to challenge or block you, and you find like a way around that, and by that you're growing immensely. Can be because of a parent that maybe constrains you a little bit, can be because of chronic issues, health, immunity, but also bones and teeth, that something gets like changed, and maybe you are faced with some karmic consequences that are gonna shake you awake about what needs to change within your own identity. And especially with the full moon lunar eclipse, can be quite emotional. Your emotions are going to be majorly heightened. Your intuition is going to surge, especially with the trine to Jupiter in the fifth. So the best thing you can do is to have fun. Just go out, have some fun, tap into the Jupiter exalted in Cancer energy that is strining the eclipse, it is strining your sign. So major development with your kids can come forward, a major happening that can bring them good luck and blessings as well. But yeah, with the eclipse within your house, it is about your body, it is about your self-expression. It's going to act like a mirror, and it's going to really show you where you've been draining, especially with Saturn back co-present in the sign of Pisces. And it's really demanding that you face reality head on. You might decide to really cut and purge some toxic connections, shed outdated habits, step away from self delusion. Don't go crazy, my dear Pisces. Like, I know you can, and I know you sometimes do. I have 4 planets in Pisces. I am allowed to say that myself. But yeah, just be a little bit careful about losing your mind, about some emotional happening. Something is going to shake you awake, especially with Uranus about to station retrograde, and it's going to retrograde almost at the same time on the same day of this lunar eclipse. So there can be such an awakening and such a lightning jolt that can it can be quite overwhelming. If you feel that, stop all the bullshit, go outside, have some fun. There's no meaning to like over analyzing and like being stuck in the waves of cosmic change, and like not being able to like ground yourself. So yeah, ground yourself is very important. um Vulnerability is going to be highlighted. You might feel a little bit exposed. Yet the exposure is that what sets you free, especially with the trine to Jupiter. Sun and Mercury are in your seventh. Partnerships are also playing a very key theme here right now. If there's been dishonesty, if there's been some imbalance, the eclipse is really gonna make things undeniable. And with me having 4 planets in Pisces, I can like really, really strongly underline that right now. So think of it as a big rebirth. The old you is gonna dissolve so that a truer, more honest self can really emerge. So yeah, by releasing what no longer reflects your true spiritual essence, you need to step into a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. And whatever falls away, how painful, how hurtful, how shocking, how surprising it might be, it's for the best. It's trying to Jupiter. In the end, it's going to set you free, and you're going to be so happy looking back on that later in time. You're going to be so happy that it happened, even if it doesn't feel that way. So, yeah. Then 2 weeks later, my dear Pisces, you're going to have a new moon solar eclipse within the seventh house of partnerships. So, marriage, business partnerships, very close friends, powerful reset in that. Some single Pisces are going to enter a new romantic connection. You can also redefine an existing bond if you're already in a marriage. There can be a new business partnership that gets formed that is actually going to elevate your standards. But of course, the eclipse opposes Saturn in your sign, Pisces. So you're really being asked to truly balance your individuality with accountability in relationships. No more giving your energy to those who deplete or deceive you. Venus is going to join a party in Virgo. Healing and harmony and partnerships are possible, but only if there's honesty and reciprocity as well. So yeah, the eclipses, they're going to push you to commit to connections that nourish you rather than drain you, where actually both parties grow stronger together every day, daily, day by day. And it's also a time to call in allies and like-minded people and close friends with refined skills, people who actually complement your own gifts. So yeah, align yourselves with relationships that are built on mutual trust, support, and growth. And know that an authentic partnership is going to elevate your path, and like real love can truly be on the horizon with this. So overall, September is asking you to actually balance yourself, reinvention in the self and within your identity, and balance that out with practical grounding as well. You need to really use Jupiter expansive joy and also Neptune's spiritual refinement as your true guides this month. And the eclipses, they might stir dramatic shifts within relationships and within yourself and within your spiritual path, but these changes, they are aligned with your evolution. So really trust the alchemy of this month, release all these outdated versions of yourself, and also clarify what you truly value. You're going to open the door to a life that is both more magical and more authentically your own. And also know, my dear Pisces, you guys are very, very spiritual within nature, as long as you don't do drugs, alcohol, or any other type of coping mechanism. So Pisces who are on their spiritual path already, and they are aligned and they are on their spiritual evolution and they're tapped into the higher realms, they're gonna they're gonna have a way easier time dealing with this kind of energy this month. So I wish you good luck, my dear Pisces, and really let me know what's going on for you guys. So yeah, that was it. I'm quickly gonna look at the comments. Congo says, Pisces rising here. I feel like my friendship is about to end. My friend is a Virgo rising. Oh my god, that is like very, very, yeah, very applicable and very special here due to the energy in both eclipses in that sign. Yeah, something might definitely shift, but that doesn't necessarily need to mean that it ends. Sometimes just like a shift in values, or some kind of shift in how you like, yeah, listen and talk to each other. That can even already like clear things out. So there can definitely be a new beginning. It doesn't necessarily need to be an end. And Katie says moon 0 degrees of Pisces first house. Oh, Katie, my Venus is 0 degrees Pisces. So we have a moon conjunct Venus. That's very, very beautiful. And luckily the eclipse is 15 degrees in Pisces. So it's more than 10 degrees off your moon. So you're still going to feel it immensely, but For example, if I can suit your thoughts a little bit, my Saturn is at 17 degrees of Pisces. So, dear Lord, send help. I wish you the best, Katie, and don't forget to look at my email that I've sent you. And thank you so much, Laura. I love you too. And Katie, no, you are not F dude. No, no, you're not. And Barno says, gonna end with magic is in the air. Thank you, Acid. I really meant what I said. Well, thank you guys all so much. Thank you for being part here. And I wish you all good luck, and let me know what's going on with the eclipses and how it's like all affecting your chart, where it happens, what's been coming up. If you have like already an idea what's going to be the current theme for you during this eclipse here. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I will all see you back soon for Uranus going retrograde next week, because the week before Uranus goes retrograde is like the most important, most intense, shocking, surprising week. So I'm gonna do that ASAP, so you guys know where you can expect some surprises. So thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you back soon. Bye bye.